All right. We are going live right now today. Some Bible study in just really quick. I need to get my hours up. I'm going to be out of town, so I definitely need to get these hours up. So I wanted to start today in the book of Genesis. I'm going to start from chapter 1, and I'm going to bring it up. Where am I going to start off with really quick? I think I'm going to start reading from Bible Gateway. So we'll start with Bible Gateway. Get on camera. Okay. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Interesting. From the second verse, I want to say that again. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Huh. Interesting. So I'm guessing that there was. We'll go through it later, but I'm guessing that this was without land mass. I'm guessing the water was first. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, and that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. So the darkness was first, and God created the light and divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And in the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." So there it goes back to my original assessment of when land was created. We got that in verse 7. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. So, of course, it's chronicling um, the days from this time. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. Sorry about that. I guess it was verse number 9. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called He seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind." It's very interesting verse. "Whose seed is in itself upon the earth," and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and the herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed. Oh, just read that. Sorry about that. "In the evening and the morning were the third day." And God said, "Let the lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years." A second. Oh, here we go. Okay, you got people in the chat. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Okay, where's that? Uh, he made this. Hold on a second. Oh, wait a minute. All right, so we're talking about seasons and days and for years. "And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth," and it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. In the evening and the morning were the fourth day. So it's going through just chronicling the days, right? And God said, Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that has life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. Am I sure that this is New King James? Because this is giving me some. Oh, I knew it was. This is giving me some King James vibes here. I knew I was getting the old school. I'm gonna go ahead and switch this to. I need the New King James here because I can't. This is, yeah. This is definitely giving me the old school way of. I feel like I'm about to challenge somebody to a duel. Unhand me, rapscallion. Right. All right. Let me go here. Dang, I knew it was. I knew there was something. I'm like, what? I know. Like, what is this? Right. Okay. Where we at there? We're already dividing day and night. What day were we on? Okay, light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth and to rule over the day and over the night and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. Everything at the end, you see there's a pattern here. God creates something, he records the day, he sees that it's good. He's always analyzing his work to see whether it's good or not, right? Always doing that. And God saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the fourth day. I think we're already on the fourth day. Where am I? I'm losing my place. God said, "Let the waters abound in abundance, creatures, let the birds fly along above the earth in the face of the firmament of the heavens." So God created the sea creatures and every living thing that moves, right? With which the waters abounded according to their kind. God, it's funny how you see how God is actually creating the divisions. Everything is according to its kind, right? The fruit trees are bearing fruit according to their kind, right? They're saying something is we're already getting off of the egalitarian and everything is equal in the same path because he's starting to divide people in things based upon their kinds. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. According to his kind, and God saw that it was good. He saw that it was good. God's seeing a lot of things are good. He's starting his work off, creating something, seeing that it's good, and then stopping, right? And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth." So the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature according to its kind." Here we go with the kind, according to its kind, right? Cattle and creeping thing and beast of the earth, each according to its kind. Uh-oh. Doesn't sound very equal to me. Everything is starting to be divided up according to its kind. And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth according to its kind, cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on the earth according to its kind. Uh-oh. And God saw that it was good. So this is a common pattern, creating things according to their kind, acknowledging the differences within things according to their kind, and seeing that the differences according to their kind are good. Then God said, uh-oh, this is when he did something crazy. "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness." Uh-oh. So what does God look like? Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." Interesting. Interesting. Mm-mm-mm. So God created man. Uh-oh. God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them. And God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. Hmm. It repeats that, right? When God says, "Let us make man in our image, let them have dominion over the fish of the sea," he repeats that once again in verse 28. 26. He repeats that actually in verse 28, which is interesting to me. It's kind of detailing what God does, and then he says it. Okay. So when God's saying things, of course, for me, what I'm seeing is when he's saying things, it's creating, right? He's creating things based upon what he's saying, and then after that, I guess giving commands based upon the things that he said. Okay, interesting. And God said, "See, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food. Also to every beast of the earth, to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, in which there is life. I have given every green herb for food." And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. So this was the evening and the morning were the sixth. So the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Okay. Let's go to chapter 2 then. Thus, the heavens and the earth and all the host of them were finished. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Hold a second. Seventh day, God ended all his work he had done, and he rested on all his work which he had done. Okay, I got you. Just re emphasizing it. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made. This is the history of the heavens and the earth when they were created. In the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, before any plant of the field was in the earth, and before any herb of the field had grown. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain on the earth, and there was no man to till the ground. But a mist went up from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and a man became a living being. So we get some background here on how man was created and how God, I guess, cared for the earth before he actually made it rain. And we're not talking about that in the other sense. Um, so now we're going to go to life in God's garden. The Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man who he had formed. And out of the ground, the Lord God made every tree grow that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life was also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Okay. Now a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it parted and became four river heads. The name of the first is, oh God, I remember these, but it's all, Pishon. It is the one which skirts the whole land of, I always mispronounce these, Havilah, which there is gold, and the gold of the land is good. So we're not even three chapters in. What'd you say? A personal line into the revelation. Interesting. Um, there is gold, and the gold of the land is good. So we're already mentioning gold is good, and we're not even past the third chapter yet. But Bdellium and the onyx stone are there. The name of the second river, I always mispronounce these, is Gihon. Gihon, which is goes around the whole land of Cush. Okay, there you go. We was kings. The third name of the river is Hiddekel, which goes towards the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. We all know Euphrates, right? This coincides with what they say where the beginning of man was, right? Tigris and Euphrates, right? Then the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to tend and keep it. Tending and keeping a garden. Sounds to me like God understands hierarchy. How about you? How about y'all in the chat? Doesn't it sound like God understands the purpose of a hierarchy, right? To tend and keep the garden. He put the man there to tend and keep the things that God had already created on the earth. Interesting. Sounds like delegation to me. What do you think about that? And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. Interesting. And the Lord God said, it is not good. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is when nothing was the same. This is, she supported since Hot Beats right before Wayne came and got me out of the back room when I was rapping with Jazz over beats that I shouldn't have in the hopes of the glory. You know, nothing was the same, dog, after this one. And the Lord God said, it's not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him. Mm-mm-mm. Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. Out of the ground, the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. I'm going to repeat that one more time. This is kind of funny, right? This is your whole field of science, right? We think about science and the study of animals and the study of different creatures and organisms and where they derive. Out of the ground, the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. Sounds like animal classifications to me. I don't know about you. Sounds pretty legit. So Adam gave names to all cattle, to the birds of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam, there was not a but but for Adam there was not found a helper comparable to him. Okay. Hmm. I, I don't know. Maybe that's interesting. Maybe he was going to bring the animals there to see if they would help him out. So Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in its place. Then the rib which the Lord God had taken from man, he made into a woman, and he brought her to the man. Oh, what's going on, Barnabas? I see you in the chat. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Wow. How about we give a celebration for Adam's naming skills right there, right? So Adam named the woman what she was, right? She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Mm-mm-mm, right? Hold on a second. I watched Jimmy. Let me get a quick chat break here. I watched Jimmy Swagger Crusade from the 80s, the praise team, Pentecostal gospel music, then turn off on Sunlight broadcast. I was born in a church. Don't worry, we're starting a church here on this channel. We're going to have revival over here on the Patriarchy Strikes Back. Y'all need to tell your friends and bring them over here so we can have better church services on listen, I've stopped doing my Sunday schools. I'm going to continue to do them though. I just need y'all to go out and spread the word. Um Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. and they were both naked, the man and the wife, and were not ashamed. That's probably because a woman was in shape. That's probably because a woman was in great shape. Let's see. Now, this is everybody's favorite verse right here. Or excuse me, favorite chapter, the temptation and fall of man. Now, the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, has God indeed said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. So it's funny because the serpent's already asking questions to the woman, right? And we know why the serpent went to the woman. I personally think that women can hear the voice of the devil better than anybody else. Um, then the serpent said to the woman, you will not surely die. For God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. So look at this. Let's stop right there. She took of the fruit and ate first, right? Um, I see that, what is this, verse 6? She took of this fruit and ate first. Now it's saying after that, she also gave it to her husband with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew that they were naked. They sewed fig leaves together and made themselves coverings. Interesting. And they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of day. He was walking in the garden in the cool of day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. Then the Lord God called to Adam and said to him, where are you? So he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. And he said, who told you that you were naked? Have have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded that you should not eat? Then the man said, the woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree and I ate. So he blamed the woman. When God asked him, why did you eat of this tree? He immediately blamed the woman. He said, the woman you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree and I ate. Wasn't my fault. It was a woman's fault. And then the Lord God said to the woman, what is this? What is this you have done? The woman said, the serpent deceived me and I ate. Hold on a second. Serpent deceived me and I ate. So the Lord God said to the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed more than all the cattle and more than every beast of the field. On your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put an enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Now, what's interesting about this is he said that on your belly you shall go. So what I'm assuming is that the serpent, which we know to be snakes, right, were not originally on their belly, weren't something that was crawling around on its stomach originally. This is God's curse that it crawls around on its stomach. Interesting. Now to the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. So men ruling over women, right, is what God gave women for. Well, I mean, it was already what God gave women originally, right? It was all already what God gave women originally, but I guess the childbirth, pain and childbirth is something that the Lord gave to women. Then to Adam he said, because you have heeded the voice of your wife. Let's get that one more time. Because you have heeded the voice of your wife and have eaten from the tree of which I have commanded, you saying, you shall not eat of it. This is what Adam got for his punishment. Cursed is the ground for your sake, and toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Both thorns and thistles shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of your face you shall eat bread till you return to the ground. For out of it you were taken, from for dust you are, and dust you shall return. I mean, God's got some pretty hot bars in that. I mean, that's some. When I heard that in the book of Eli, I knew it was good, but God had some bars for Adam on that day. Interestingly enough, I think Adam actually gave his wife a name after that. Adam called his wife's name Eve because she was the mother of all living. Also, for Adam, his wife, the Lord God made tunics of skin and clothed them. So, what's interesting is when I look at it, I look at what God, the curse to Adam or the curse to man is, hmm, I guess it's the hard work. I guess it's how hard the work was for Adam, because when I look at this, cursed is the ground for your sake, and toil you should eat of it. Right? When I think about toiling, that's like a lot of work. That's like hard work. You shall eat of it all the days of your life. Like you have to work for the rest of your life for the from the earth. Interesting. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you. This may be bad times, I guess. And you shall eat of the herb of the field. In the sweat of your face you shall eat bread till you return to the ground. For out of it you are taken, for dust you are, and dust you shall return. Um, well, number one, he was right. I mean, you are gonna die, right? He said that if you ate out of the fruit of the tree, you're gonna die, and I guess that is what you're going to do. So there is no lie in that. Um, but it seems to me like the hard work to get the results that you want from the earth are what man was cursed with, along with death. Then the Lord God said, behold, the man has become like one of us to know good and evil. So the serpent wasn't lying. I mean, you did become like God to know good and evil. And now, lest he put out his hand and take also the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore, the Lord God sent him out of the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he was taken. So, once again, this is all about the pain of labor. This is all about from what I understand, the curse of man is the pain of labor in the world and the work that men have to do to get what they want, right? In terms of the harsh conditions of the world, that existed outside of the Garden of Eden. So he drove out the man and placed the cherubim at the east of the Garden of Eden, and a flaming sword was turned every way to guard the tree of life. I don't know if you know what a cherubim is. That is it's an angel, like a big angel. Should we go to Genesis 4, people in the chat? You want to go to chapter 4, or do we want to slow down a little bit? I guess we will. I guess we'll get to this one. Now, Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I have acquired a man from the Lord. Then she bore again, this time his brother, Abel. Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Interestingly enough, here goes the tillers of the ground again, my friend. And in the process of the time it came to pass that Cain brought forth an offering of the fruit of the ground to the Lord. Abel also bought the firstborn of his flock and of their fat. And the Lord respected Abel and his offering, but he did not respect Cain and his offering. Hmm. So the Lord said, and Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. So the Lord said to Cain, why are you angry? Why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lies at the door, and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to get a break on this. I need to understand this verse a little bit. So Cain said, why are you angry? If you do well, will you not be accepted? Huh. I'm gonna have to do some more studying on that verse. Chapter 4, verse 6. I'm gonna have to get some more. Chapter 4, verse 6. I'll study that later. Now Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, where is Abel your brother? He said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. So now you are cursed from earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and vagabond you shall be on the earth. And Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Surely you have driven me out this day from the face of the ground. I shall be hidden from your face, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth. And it will happen that anyone who finds me will kill me. And the Lord said to him, therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest anyone finding him should kill him. So that's a first extension of God's mercy for Cain, right? I guess to keep him alive, so he can live all the days of his life as a fugitive or vagabond, as he said previously. So we're going to scroll down to the family of Cain. Then Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, right? And we know what knew means, right? And she conceived and bore Enoch. And he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad. And Irad, here we go with the names again. And Irad beget Megal, and Megal beget Methuselah, and Methuselah beget Lamech. So we got like 4 generations here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then Lamech took for himself 2 wives. The one was named Ada, and the name of the second was Zillah. And Ada bore Jabal. He was the father of those who dwell in the tents and have the livestock. And his brother's name was Jubal. Okay, so Jubal. He was a father of those who play the harp and the flute. As for Zillah, she bore Tubal Cain. It was an instructor of every craftsman in bronze and iron. And the sister of Tubal Cain was Nama. Here we go with the funny names again. Then Lamech said this to his wives: Ada and Zillah, hear my voice. Wives of Lamech, listen to my speech. For I've killed a man for wounding me, even a young man for hurting me. If Cain is avenged sevenfold, then Lamech, then Lamech 77-fold. Okay, all right, we're talking about people taking revenge again. And Adam knew his. Oh, we're back to Adam. Here we go. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore him a son named Seth. For God has appointed another seed for me instead of Abel, whom Cain killed. So, of course, after the whole Cain and Abel fiasco, Adam and Eve got it on again. Probably with no fig leaves on this time. And as for Seth, a son, as excuse me, and as for Seth, to him also a son was born, and he named him Enosh. Then men began to call on the name of the Lord. Shall we get another chapter in this evening? I think we shall. The family of Adam. Okay, so now here we go through. Now, one of the important parts about Genesis is this is all genealogy, right? We're going to get family trees in the beginning of the Bible. Um, that's mainly what this is. This person is, we're going to get a bunch of begats, right? This is all genealogy. I honestly don't feel like going through this. Let's see. Okay. So this is where we go from Adam to Noah. We literally have 30 verses of who begat who, right? So when people ask you about the Bible, Genesis is all about you know, the Genesis is all about genealogy, right? So I'm just gonna go to Noah because Noah's like the next guy. Lamech lived to be 182 years and had a son, and he called his name Noah, saying, "This one will comfort us concerning our work and the toil of our hands, because the ground which the Lord has cursed." Okay, so we're all going back to this whole like curses of man, and it's just cursing the ground and all the work that men have to do to survive from the earth. I'm guessing that's what this is, right? After he begot Noah, Lamech lived to be 597 years old. He has sons and daughters. So all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Right? Oh, God. Let's see what we got here. Next page. All right. The wickedness and the judgment of man. So we know we're going from Adam and Eve, right? Cain and Abel. Um, Abel gets taken out. We hear this about Cain's family. Then we go back to Seth. Then from Seth we get a bunch of people, and now we're on Noah, right? It's like the next big story in the Bible, right? The wickedness and judgment of man. Now it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men. Uh-oh, here we go. That they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they choose, right? So then the Lord said, my spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants on the earth on those days. Okay, so we got some giants going around. And also afterward, when the sons of God came, into the daughters of men, they bore children to them. Those were mighty men who were old men of what was that? Bore children to them. Those were mighty men who were old and men who were old men of Rion. I guess is that the land of the giants, I'm guessing. It's been a while since I read Genesis all the way through. I mainly stick to the New Testament, but I'm gonna try to read maybe I should read the entire Bible on my channel. I think that may be good. Uh, okay. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So I guess people turned evil. And the Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he grieved in his heart. So I guess God saw that how evil people were being, and it kind of had some second thoughts. So the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I've created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping thing, and birds of the air, for I'm sorry I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Okay, okay. This is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was just a man, perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. And Noah begot three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth was also corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. I guess this is the precursor to St. Louis. So God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt, for all of flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence. Here we go. Violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. So God is actually going to use his own creation because he's that tired of man. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and outside with pitch. And this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits. Its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. You shall make a window for the ark, and you shall finish. Hold on a second. You shall finish it from a cubit above, and set the door of the ark on its side. And you shall make it with lower, second, and third decks. And behold, for I am myself am bringing flood waters on the earth to destroy from under heaven all flesh in which is the breath of life. And everything that is on the earth shall die. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall go into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your son's wife with you. And every living thing of all flesh you shall bring two of every sort into the ark to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Uh-oh. People are already getting triggered. Of all the birds of their kind, of all the animals of their kind, and every creeping thing of the earth after its kind. Two of every kind will come with you to keep them alive. And you shall take them for yourself of all food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to yourself, and it shall be food for you and food for them. Thus Noah did according to all God commanded him, so he did. Are we done for the night? Maybe I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Then the Lord said to Noah, come into the ark, you and all your household, because I've seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. You shall take with you 7 of every clean animal, a male and his female, 2 of each animals that are unclean, a male and his female. Also 7 birds of the air, a male. So everybody said it was only 2 of every kind, but you see right there when it came to certain animals, it was 7 for the clean animals. Also, 7 each of birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth. For after 7 more days I will cause it to rain, and on the earth 40 days, 40 nights. For 7 more days I will cause it to rain. There are 40 days, 40 nights. I will destroy them from the face of the earth, all living things which I have made. And Noah did all according to the Lord, did all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters were on the earth. So Noah, with his sons, his wife, his son, his sons' wives, went into the ark because of the waters of the flood, of clean animals, of animals that are unclean, of birds, and of everything that creeps on the earth. Two by two went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as God had commanded Noah. Then it came to pass for 7 days that the waters of the flood were on the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month. And on that day, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the heaven were open, and rain was on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. Here we go. On that very same day, Noah and Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons entered the ark. They and every beast of his kind, and all the cattle of his kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after his kind, and every bird of his kind, and every bird of his sort. And they went into the ark to Noah two by two of all flesh, in which the breath is life. What? Of all flesh, in which is the breath of life. Excuse me. So those that entered, male and female of all flesh, went in as the Lord God commanded them, as God had commanded them. So the Lord shut him in. Now, when the flood was on the earth for 40 days, the water increased and lifted the ark, and it rose high above the earth. The waters prevailed and greatly increased on the earth. The ark moved about on the surface of the waters, and the waters prevailed exceedingly on the earth, and all the high hills under the whole heaven were covered. The waters prevailed 15 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved on the earth, birds and cattle and beasts of every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, and every man, all in which nostrils was the breath of life. All that was on the dry land died. So he destroyed all living things which were on the face of the ground, both man and cattle, creeping thing, bird of the air. They were destroyed from the earth. Only Noah and those who were in the ark with him remained alive, and the water prevailed on the earth 150 days. Okay. Noah's deliverance. Then God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the animals that were with him on the ark. And God made a wind pass over the earth, and the water subsided. All right, that's going to be enough for me today. I thought I was only going to go through one to 1 to 5. I actually went from 1 to 8. Y'all still there in the chat? Are y'all still there in the chat? Somebody let me know if you're still listening. Nobody's listening, huh? I feel you. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we got here. All right. Yep. Okay. So I'm actually gonna end this right now. So we got Genesis 1 through 8 on here. Maybe we'll get 8 through 16. If I get 8, maybe we can do eight chapters a day. What do you think about that? So, like I said, I'm gonna be going out of town for the next. I won't be back until Friday. I'm like I said, I got to start cranking out content on my channel. I actually got the guy Deonta, who I just shared on my channel. He's cranking out content. Probably going to be doing some collaborations together. But like I said, I'll just do this randomly, on top of all the other stuff I do. Maybe I can read the entire Bible. Maybe we can get the entire Bible done in a year or something like that, and then you can listen to it from my voice. And if there's any preference in which you may have for um, when I read it, just let me know. Hit me on the Instagram, Patriarchy Strikes Back. Hit me in the email, the Patriarchy Strikes Back at gmail.com, and the Cash App is PSB. But just hit me on those if you want. Uh, we can get through this entire thing in a year. Honestly, I'm actually going to start reading um, the political dictionary. I'll probably do that from start to finish as well, because I don't have any good ideas for content. Right? No more Fight Club. Yeah, bro. It's like, why am I going over there if you're going to pay to kick me off? Like, there's no point in me doing that. So with that said, I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. Like the video. So